Hi everyone. Today I have some important announcements about Bethany and how it's changing as of April 1st. Information and announcements that I believe is actually really hopeful and inspiring, but before I can kind of share it with you, I need to let you know a little bit about where we're at. Our church, our staff, and our congregation, our community, we have all been impacted by COVID-19. Some of these have actually been good impacts, such as many of you are now meeting online and communicating more now than ever. Some of you are finding new rhythms as a family or seeing moments of generosity and grace in this time. Others of us, though, are experiencing some really difficult impacts and some really difficult setbacks, such as losing a job or even having a loved one become sick. So, with the current reality regularly changing all around us, we as a church really needed to decide, how are we going to respond? How are we going to respond faithfully to Jesus? How are we going to respond faithfully to our mission? How do we respond faithfully to our community? And so our response really involves two things I want to talk about: our finances and our ongoing mission as a church. Okay? So first I want to talk a bit about our finances. First, we here at Bethany really do believe in being the best stewards with our finances as possible. But in this changing situation, that is becoming much more difficult. With any financial instability, there is also an instability in giving, which is what we are seeing. So we are preparing for a potential 15% decrease in givings this year. We are preparing for this, honestly, not out of fear, and also not out of a lack of faith, because I do believe that so many of you will be stepping up to give generously in this season. We are preparing for this because that seems like not only the prudent, but the wise and the responsible thing to do. It just honestly feels incredibly irresponsible not to plan to prepare. It feels irresponsible not to be wise stewards. It feels really irresponsible to just pretend that nothing is changing around us. So we want to plan for things. And while the government has offered many subsidies, as you may have seen in the news, those subsidies aren't something that we qualify for here at Bethany. This is because they exist for organizations that have experienced a 30% decrease, which we haven't seen here at Bethany, and which we are actively seeking to prevent. So to manage our finances, we need to make some difficult decisions, specifically in regards to our staffing. Because for us, like many organizations, our staffing actually accounts for the largest percentage in our budget. So that's one of the things we want to talk to you about: our finances and where we're at. The other thing is our mission, because we actually believe that Jesus Christ is needed now more than ever in our world. Anyone want to say amen to that, even through watching a video, right? That we believe that we need more church, more community, and especially more of Jesus in this time and in this space and in this season. I actually believe that this isn't a time for us to give up on church, but for church to truly step up to be the church. This is the time for us to truly reach out for our mission to actually change the world, starting in Niagara. We need this to happen today. So we as a church, as a leadership and as a board and as a staff, we found ourselves in the difficult place of believing that we need the church more now than ever. Yet knowing, with the financial situation developing around us, we need to make some difficult decisions. So after a period of prayer, discernment, and honestly really reviewing lots of different options and lots of consultations, the staff at Bethany Community Church chose unanimously, that the only way through this season is to do this together. So as of April 1st, the entire Bethany Community Church staff has unanimously agreed to a temporary work layoff in this season of instability. Generously, while this is happening, many will continue to serve, give, and sacrifice as volunteers in revised and new limited roles. What this means is that Bethany is going to keep going, just in a new way. And this is the news that I actually believe should fill you with hope and should inspire you. Because our staff, our amazing staff, so strongly believe in Jesus, in our church, and especially also in you, our community, that they have chosen to take this strong step. Our staff, seeing the financial obstacles in front of us, we laid it all out to them, chose that rather than laying off a significant number of staff, decided that we do this together. Our staff believes we need church more now than ever, so much so that we have chosen to volunteer to see the impact and life change of Jesus Christ continue in and through our community. Our staff wanted this to be their first response, that rather than simply asking people to give more, we also wanted to give. The staff wanted to help the church to be in the strongest position to respond to people in this difficult time and in this difficult season. So I hope you understand that this decision that we are announcing to you, it wasn't an easy one, but it was an absolutely necessary one, because this is just true, okay? We believe. Let's even say this, I believe, without a shadow of a doubt, we are called to change the world starting here in Niagara, okay? But we do not need to be employees. to do that. So what does this mean? Because I know you'll have lots of questions about this. And I do too, actually, because this is all new. So we're going to continue to share with you more details. We're going to continue to update you. But here's what you can expect, okay? First of all, you can expect to still get sermons, okay? You'll still get sermons each and every week. But they'll just be from your friendly neighborhood volunteer pastor. Because in case this wasn't clear, this includes me. And I'm going to seek to be the best volunteer pastor that I absolutely can, sharing my heart as always with grace and vulnerability and just hoping to share with you words of encouragement from Jesus. So we're going to be doing that each and every weekend, okay? The only difference is now I'll be a volunteer. So if you don't like the sermons, I don't know what to tell you, I'm a volunteer. And if you don't like that joke, honestly, it's good. Okay? So what you can expect is sermons to continue just from volunteers. What you can expect is support for home churches just from volunteers. What you can expect is still that we'll be praying, we'll be sharing resources, and we'll be reaching out as we have been just as volunteers. And if a crisis hits, I want to assure you we will be there just as volunteers, because this honestly has always been how the church has really truly operated. The church is built on Jesus Christ. I want to be absolutely clear about that. The church is built on the foundation of Jesus Christ, but it runs in and through volunteers. It runs because of people serving and sacrificing. It runs because people give of themselves. We are just doubling down on that in this season. I also know some of you are more than likely wondering, how does this affect our staff? How are they going to manage? How are they feeling about it? Well, I'll be honest. Okay? This is a little weird, right? But this whole time is weird. This whole time is new. We are living in uncertain times. But what I can tell you is that I do believe that this is the absolute right decision, and that every single staff made this choice unanimously, knowing both the benefits and the costs. You should also know that Bethany as an organization has some incredible and generous policies in situations such as this that enable us to support our staff in financial and in practical ways during the season. So we'll get through this the same way we've gotten through everything together. You don't need to worry about us. We are taking this strong step to ensure that the church is able to meet the needs of those in our community. That's what we're doing. So this is what I believe is both inspiring and hopeful news, that we believe in Jesus, the church, and in you so much that we are taking this strong step to make sure that the church is able to meet the needs of our community today and tomorrow and into the future. But I can't speak to you, as you know, without a challenge. So even in this, I want to give you a little bit of a challenge. I want to give you a challenge to do three things, actually. Three things that our staff are also doing. We want to invite you to join with us, and they are simple. Can you give, pray, and serve? First, I want to invite you to give to the church. You should give financially and generously to this amazing church. As someone who is now a volunteer, I can say this with a new conviction, okay? I can say this new conviction that you should give to Bethany Community Church because it changes lives. It has changed my life, and there are so many stories of life change in and through this church. And honestly, any staff that is so committed to the mission that they will volunteer so the mission continues, this should inspire you to join us. So would you join with us through giving sacrificially so that we can then continue to give out into the community? Secondly, I want to challenge you to pray, like really pray, like deeply pray. Pray for our neighbors, pray for our community, pray for our church. This is the time for the people of God to actually pray. What this season is revealing to us is that we have a chance. We have a chance to trust in God and not just our certainty. We have a chance to trust in God and not just our institutions. We have a chance to trust in God and not just our everyday normal ways of behaving and living with normal habits. Things are changing. We have a chance, even in this, to place our trust in God, and we can do that in and through prayer. And then thirdly, I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to serve. Can I just invite you into that? That you should be serving your neighbors, serving your family, finding ways to give back. Because honestly, this is needed. Now, you're going to have to be creative in this season, but I think this is the time for Christians to show creative acts of love to those around us, that we might actually be reaching out into our community in creative ways. So that's what we want to invite you into. We want to invite you into giving, praying, and serving. And this is the important information that we wanted to let you know, that we are all becoming volunteers. And we want to invite you to join with us in changing the world, starting right here in Niagara by giving, praying, and serving. So wow. The world and even the church might be changing around us. What isn't changing, and this will never change, is our commitment to follow Jesus together. As always, grace and peace.